Hey everybody, and welcome back. It's been a hot minute. We took off 2 weeks. As you can see, we're a cast member down. Alex is not feeling well today, so he will hopefully be back with us next week when we're back doing this again on schedule. But yeah, we're here. We're playing some Dragon Age, as the gays do. So, like, it's just part of the. It's Dragon Age's gay culture. Yeah. And to extend that, so is Mass Effect. But yeah, we're just gonna do that thing where we all introduce ourselves, our characters, answer weird questions, all that good stuff, just to get everything warmed up. So, Emma, go ahead and kick us off, friend.
Hello, I am Emma, or Hummalou on the internet, and I am the storyteller for our Dragon Age game, Thirst and Emotions. My question for the group, you can answer both for yourself and your character, is aside from necessities, which is things like sleep, food, and water, what is one thing that you could not go a day without? Most recently, me personally, it's been lip balm or like chapstick. But very dry lips these past few months. Take it away.
Hi everyone. My name is Satan or Alyssa Vamp on the interwebs. I go by she, they, and I'll be playing Bella, the elf rogue who goes by she, her. Something I can't live without. I'm gonna be honest. Hairbrush. My hair gets very knotted at night because I just raw dog the hair against the pillowcase. Sorry, guys.
Is it at least a silk pillowcase?
Do you ask permission first?
And for Bella, you know, she loves her daggers. You can't take them away from her. You know, that's a necessity, really. Mm-hmm. So that's me.
And most recently, the D.
Anyway,
D. Carry on.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay Phoenix. I play Ophelia Van Canel. She's our human Mortalitasi mage. She and I both have related things for things we can't live without. For me, it's any kind of human connection, like a text or saying hi to somebody. Like, I literally cannot, like, I'll suffer from anxiety and, like, shut down.
That's such a good answer, though, but, like, same.
I have to say something to someone else. I can't sit in my room for a whole day. Can't do it. And for Ophelia, it's Robert. She can't live without Robert. Like, Robert's been such a part of her life for so long that she's like, I think she would just have a meltdown if Robert, like, disappeared and never came back.
Oh, no. Yeah. We can't do that.
Yeah. We can't take away Robert.
Can't take away Robert. That's...
Can't. No.
I'm going to make a note.
Crime against humanity. Wow.
Jeez. So evil.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Hey everyone, my name is Val. This just so happens to be my channel. I bring to you Robin. She is a she-they kind of person. I'm a she-they-it kind of person. Because I identify as a cryptid. My, the things that I can't live without, or that Robin, I think for me, because it's very much on my mind right now because I can't find them, are tweezers. For those of you who don't know, I have PCOS, so I grow a beard. And I feel like I tweeze my beard daily, like my goatee daily, and I can't find my tweezers right now, and so like I have little chin stubbles, and I'm just like, oh no, where are my tweezers? So I'm probably gonna go buy new ones today if I can't find them.
That's fair.
Yeah, and for Robin, Robin cannot. It's probably her version of sunscreen. Because she is a ground-dwelling humanoid, and dwarves are not made for the sun, so she has to slather on some heat protection in order to keep her skin so that people don't realize that she is pushing 40. So, like...
sunscreen will get some ears off of you, let me tell you.
Yeah, listen. There was a lot of trial and error when it came to figuring out what you could put on your skin, because once you realize that oil is a terrible idea because oil cooks in the heat, like,
Yeah.
don't put
Yeah,
oil on
it
your
sure
skin.
does.
That's why it's like, I'm gonna put olive oil when I go sunbathing. No,
Don't do that. You're literally frying your skin.
You're literally frying your skin. That is a terrible idea. I just avoid the sun for the most part until the vitamin D in me is really, really low. And I live in the Pacific Northwest, so that's all the time. So anytime the sun is out, like right now, I'm just like, oh, time to put on the sunscreen. And I just like go and like sun goblin it. Usually day drinking is a part of my sun goblinging though. Like, but yeah, that's my very long-winded answer. Apparently I also need sunscreen. So I am a hobbit. With that, just a heads up and a reminder, we review or affect the game. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies gives a reroll. Subscribing to the channel or resubscribing to the channel, just like Kay and Emma did earlier, gives a plus 6 point stunt, which is a critical in this. An auto success with a 6 point stunt, which is a critical in this game. If you donate $5, you can give either a potion or a focus point to the crew members, and if you do $10 or more, you can, or it's a $10 minimum to create an NPC for the game. You can create their class, race, and their name. So, yeah, there's only 3 classes in this game. Like, but the races are not limited to the Dragon Age races, because we have had a kobold, thanks to our good friend Silent. Like, but yeah, that's us. That's what we're doing. And I'm done. I'm gonna continue my coffee. So, Emma, what's up? Can't hear you.
Oh, muted?
I am muted.
There you go.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Welcome back. Last session, we're in the beautiful coastal city of Antiva City. The gang raided Uncle Rizzo's estate for some wine and cheese. They discovered his personal rooms as well. And aside from his bedroom and bathroom, they also found a small personal laboratory. DD. There were some learning potions. God, that was a deep cut there.
Yeah.
Some learning potions were found, which was exciting, and it showed that there is some Navaran activity happening outside of the Grand Necropolis, which is a big naughty Uncle Rizzo. In his documents, they learned that it's clearly ordering stuff in for his own personal use, including Illyrium. But there were occasions, most notably the second to last one, before his untimely demise, where he ordered in stuff that suggests Camara Bondas, the Tevinter mage, who's been trying to learn the secrets of returning a spirit to the bodies of the deceased. A rather wild suggestion was made at one point to have the floating skull spirit Robert, Ophelia's companion, possess Arlen's body to see if it would help him communicate with others. So they did, and it was a surprising success. Not only did Robert manage to enter into Arlen's body and have a conversation with Bella, but they discovered afterwards, when Arlen tried to make a connection to Spirit Robert, he can in fact now communicate with the floating sassy skull. So, that's exciting. Arlen drops the bomb that Sinead is pregnant. Wait, no, that he's trying often. And we also discovered that his swimmers have beards and axes, apparently. You're welcome for the imagery of that. Rylan comes and reports in about Bella's old crew, who are still around and are taking work from an unknown stranger named Salir. They decide to go and take in the evening with some coastal air and some street foods to just having a bit of an enjoyable time in this beautiful evening. While they're doing that, they do notice an interesting looking elven stranger that is watching them. Robin and Bella then decide to go and follow him through the streets, roguing as they do, and eventually they cut him off in a small side street as he's reaching for something on a wall. Before they can discover what that may have been, they decide to question him to figure out who he is, why he was watching them, and the knowledge that Ophelia passed to them that he is, in fact, a mage. Doesn't look like one, but, you know. Not everybody walks around with a staff that's a walking stick or a bow. He is revealed as none other than Salir, who answers questions fielded from both Bella and Robin, then asks if he could ask Bella some questions on her own. Most notably, he asks her what she would be willing to do for their people. She lists some of the great feats that have been accomplished in her help of the elven peoples, and she asks him what he would be willing to do, and he said, go to the ends of the earth for them. As he's leaving, he says, may the Dreadwolf guide your way, and we finished up our session there. Ominous words for those who have played the game. So the two of you are in this small, it's like a wine bar, basically. And the other companions, of which currently there is only Ophelia, but Rylan is there with you, and so is Arlen. You two have the chance to either communicate with yourselves just now, or just slink your way back to your friends to either report in there or maybe find somewhere private.
Yeah, I think we talked about heading back. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. But that we don't. But it's like we shouldn't talk about these things outside. And she would have bought back food for Rylan.
Okay. You're able to find them easily enough. Mostly because Bella, this is your home city. It's where you did your growing up, so you know all the little streets to bring you back to the part of the port where your friends are currently sitting. Ophelia, would you have been doing anything in particular or discussing anything?
She would have just kept checking to see if she could feel any signs of Rizzo. Or any Walking Dead, for that matter. I mean, she would definitely be curious if she could, like, that's not my uncle, but they're not alive either. That's interesting.
Sure. Roll me a necromancy vibe check, please, which is a magical spirit roll.
Necromancy vibe check?
Yeah.
Spirit or entropy?
I
think necromancy goes into entropy. Let me double check.
Entropy, I guess, yeah.
Let me double check it real
That's
quick.
Fair.
Where is my necromancy? Necromancer. It is. Doesn't say. Well, I could do either one. I'll do spirit.
If you have both.
I mean, I have both. It doesn't matter. We'll just spirit this time. Why not?
Yeah. Because what you're really trying to sense is the presence of a spirit in a body that is no longer alive.
Sure.
It's a very good roll, though. You can most assuredly say there is nothing here in the port. And the people that pass you by do not give you any major pains in your necro vibe check.
All right. So she would just keep casually talking to Arlen until they were done with their food. Then,
That's fair. You have
Bella comes and, grabs them and they go back, I guess.
Okay. You do have Shara and Rylan with you as well.
Yep.
And Doggo. I think everybody went, right? Oh, no. Some people stayed back, didn't they?
Rylan stayed back with Doggo and Dragon.
Yes. And Shara came with you because you guys had a little talk last session as well.
Yeah, he was like, I want to be next to you and help you. And I'm like, okay. No, I'm kidding. That's definitely not how it went.
He's just real nervous something bad happens to you,
Yeah.
The death of all the rest of his family members will do that to a person.
It's the trauma for me.
Mm-hmm.
Forming some
You're able to head back
disorders. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Trauma
What happens
bonding.
when all your family's murdered?
You know, you're able to collect your group and perhaps give them some manner of hint. I'm assuming that you need to go back.
Yep. She's just like, oh, have you guys been enjoying your food? Yeah. We should probably head back. That food's probably gonna put you to sleep real soon.
Yeah. Okay.
As in you're full of something,
That can mean many things here in Antiva.
Yeah, that's very
Your
true.
food is gonna put you to sleep real soon.
The not threatening kind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are able to make your way
Suspicious
back.
eye squint at Bella.
Yeah.
That can be a side, Robin. That can be many things here, and it's when you eat a lot and you're like, wow, I'm so full I could take a nap type of situation.
As a dwarf, that does not happen.
Well, you know what? Anyway, let's go.
You know, it's elven constitutions, I guess.
Indeed.
Suppose.
You guys are able to head back to the estate of Naughty Uncle Rizome, which makes him sound like a very different type of uncle, I guess.
My question is, does Uncle Rizzo
Weird
got
uncle.
Riz? Like, that's what I need to know.
You'll need to find out, like, when you...
I mean, apparently from his letters.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Listen. Clearly he's working on
Riz.
someone.
Mm-hmm.
The outfits, were nice, maybe a bit morose in color, but yeah, I guess you'll find out when you meet him what the Riz of Uncle Rizzo really is.
At least it's not Flaky Francis.
I know. I was just gonna say.
Flaky Francis.
Flaky.
Well, listen, yeah. He kept up with that moisturizing routine.
Got a couple decades. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fresher than Flaky Francis, to be fair. Talk about that necro vibe. You guys managed to get back to the estate, where it is quiet and private, and there's plenty wine and cheese should you wish to partake now that it is, you're not having to go out anywhere. And there's plenty, like big, beautiful lounges. While it's a little bit dusty, there's comfortable seating for everyone should you wish to.
As they go in, Bella's just gonna give that really loud whistle, and not too
You
long
hear the
after,
sound, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm sure many of us here have encountered this in some way. When a big dog is trying to run on like slippery floors. You can hear like the skiting is a Scottish word. Yeah. Like the slipping of the pod and the sound of the nails, and occasionally you hear like a and then a hit. Where there's like a pause for a second, and then you hear the galloping continue. Eventually, she is in your presence and doing the good girl, like full lower body, like
Bella. But like I'm assuming Andrew will tell us like here, and Bella says,
very much head on
Big
your
bar, baby.
Yeah.
And I feel like she would have tried to train Sparrowhawk to come to that whistle as well. So that's up to you if it has worked.
Sparrowhawk does come, but doesn't have the enthusiasm that only really a dog can have when you have returned home.
It is a reptile.
Yeah.
It's just slowly making its way.
She makes her way, in her own sweet time, but will arrive. And we'll quite happily take scritches from whoever is offering them.
Definitely. She just gets scritches. And I'm assuming at some point Rylan's going to show up.
Yeah, does Rylan also answer to the whistle?
Yeah, he's got his own casual gait. Probably has a big batty in his mouth, which he will present to anyone who wishes to partake.
Oh, well, we'll definitely take it. And she will present him and the babies with food that she brought over.
Or you're my favorite person.
I know.
Just sits down and starts eating as only a hungry stoner can.
Yeah. Why don't we all sit down? Me and Robin spoke of with a new friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you know.
You got
Uh,
really spoke even closer to them because
Yeah.
I'm very interested in what y'all talked about.
Mm-hmm. Let me get my fucking notes. Cause I know I wrote these down. Okay, let's see. That's my blah 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 Slayer. Me and Robin, I may have met with a certain uh elven mage.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you remember the gentleman that in the shadows that was looking at us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We harassed him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what did he have to say?
Well, Rylan, you'd be happy to know that I found Siller.
Well done.
Yeah. It seems that they too have interest in me-ish, not sure, or whatever's connected to me.
Like in a bad way?
Yet to be determined. So far, good impression-ish.
Okay.
So he. Where do I start? I'm trying to remember everything. He does work in and out of Antiva. It's something about the way he said, just we can find him if we ask for him at God, what was the name? That's my horse, not my notes. My bad. No, that's my dog. There we go. I didn't write down the name of the place. It was a brothel, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not remember the name of the brothel because why would I write that down? Because I'm silly. But she will insert name of brothel here.
I'm just looking because I do know where it is, but
mhm.
the perfumed spring.
Perfume Spring. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Celia. To ask for at the Perfume Springs, which, if the name doesn't give it away, is a brothel.
Could it be a spa?
You're talking to the person that's from Antiva and lives in Antiva, the place that's known for its brothels.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So,
They could have a spa attached to the brothel.
it could be
Some
both.
spas are basically brothels.
Oh yeah. The ones with happy endings.
Wait, you don't have happy endings at all of them?
No.
Huh.
Some people are in fact just masseuses.
Okay.
I get the feeling he might know a bit about what may be happening with the elves. Because when we did speak alone, Robin went to get us some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
His one question is, what would I do for Elvenkind? How far am I willing to go?
It's a big question.
It's a real big question.
And I told him a few of our adventures for Elvenkind and a few of mine before. And I asked him the same question. And his answer was he would go to, was it the ends?
Ends of the earth.
Yeah, the ends of the earth.
All right.
So we may have an ally in him. I'm still feeling him out, but I don't doubt we'll meet again. He was very curious about my hair color, so that's interesting.
Is it not common to have?
Oh,
red
no,
hair?
no, no. No.
Where'd you get that from? Who did you inherit that from?
My father.
Okay.
Mm.
Sorry.
So, well, there's only so many people with this hair color out there. In Antiva, the connections can be formed quickly. But that may solve one of our problems. Not sure about the others.
I mean, he was just, that's like asking you those things is suspiciously vague. We know that, right?
I am aware.
Okay. I'm just not prone to trust people
Oh, I
who
do
are
not
that
trust.
vague. Like,
I do not trust them.
okay.
I'd be going against years of lessons that life has taught me to trust someone that instantly.
Yeah, I mean, did he say why he was tailing? It was just because of your hair, which means a relation to your dad, right? Was that why he
That's what I
was
assumed.
interesting in you? Okay.
I don't think that was the only one. I think it may have caught his eye, and that might have.
You are very beautiful. I
Oh
can
my god,
understand.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
And the rest of us are very weird, so
we're all just a great looking bunch. let me tell you.
they look at us and they look at us traveling together and they're like, oh yeah, that group fucks around and finds out. And
That group fucks.
they're still alive, so
Mhm.
yeah.
So we might be able to get some answers about the missing elves there, and that might lead something with the crows. I'm not sure. Obviously, he's very, very vague and very shielded, as you do when you meet someone who would not trust me either
Right.
at first glance. Which if it did, I would not be making business with him because then that would mean he is stupid. But he is connected with my own group as he gives them jobs, which I believe my own group already knew. He assumed that Alejandro already probably knows that I'm here. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what our next step should be, as there are a lot of strings to pull.
I think first we should fortify this house if we're staying here.
For sure.
Because clearly we've caught eye and people are following us. I think, like, I don't know. Just because there's walls around us, this is Antiva. I just don't want to not wake up tomorrow.
No. I do suggest that maybe we all take watches.
Mm-hmm.
Because
sober watches.
Mm-hmm. Because there's not much that can stop a crow from doing its job, other than death.
Yeah, fair.
And as you all saw today, the city is rampant with them.
Oh, yeah, and there was definitely a murder afoot.
Yes. I wonder if that's why they called themselves the Crows in the first place.
I mean, they don't call themselves an owl. The owls, because they're not like
that's
a parliament. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see them sitting around in a circle governing. Like the murder, yeah.
That's some governing, but from the shadows.
Yeah, not in a parliament sense.
No. They probably have people from the councils
Mhm.
in their pockets.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
Not probably, but assuredly. Um,
I can't see them being
but
cats either because that's a clouder.
yeah.
You also know that Atiba really doesn't have a formal army because they don't need an army. They have the
Mm-mm.
crows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have an assassin guild skilled enough that the whole country doesn't need the army, so.
Fair.
But I'm thinking this person might also have information on your uncle, if maybe they saw anything. They seem to be very well informed, Ophelia. So
Do you tell them, or are you going to intentionally leave out his passing phrase to you at the end?
what was the Dreadwolf deity or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to look more at Sharo and Rylan when she says this. Because I had forgotten up until now, so thank you for reminding me.
I was just checking in if it was intentional or not. Yep.
I think you two would find it very interesting. That's his goodbye. Wait, let me check if I have it in. No, I didn't put it in my little.
He said, "May the dried wolf guide your way."
Yeah. I have Dreadwood and Hugh and and
You've got Dreadwolf and yeah, that's a curse.
Yeah.
And I wonder, actually, yeah. Anyway, say what you're gonna say.
The Dreadwolf take you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His parting words were, "May the Dreadwolf guide you."
Guide
and her
you.
eyes go from Rylan to Cheryl.
Yeah. Rylan looks a little confused because he knows enough. Like, he's a city elf, but he knows enough to like know that even city elves use that curse because it's just it's a common curse.
It's essentially saying "fuck you, buddy."
Well, Dreadwolf guide you? Is Dreadwolf guide you a curse or
no?
That's why
it's different.
That's the unusual one.
Yeah,
Dreadwolf
take you and you. Oh,
Dreadwolf and use another one. Yeah, so it's usually you because his name is like a. You know how some cultures have a name that you say and then you spit, like you spit on the name. Mm-hmm. It's very
yeah.
So Rylan looks interested. Sharo looks confused. I've never heard of someone wishing that the dread will guide them.
I mean, I know my elven god knowledge is a little rusty. But is the Dreadwolf not a trickster spirit of sorts?
Yeah. Yeah. We are never taught good things about him. He was the god Fenrirel. I guess sometimes he like takes a second before the memory comes out of his lips. My dad used to teach us that he kind of went between the two groups of gods and fucked them over a lot. There's other teachings about him. I don't know them all off by heart. It's usually the lore keepers that hold on to them.
Are there elves that... Have you ever heard of, like, cults that worship him?
I hope this is not another cult.
I haven't, no. Not that you know what, I can roll for him, actually. He has
roll for knowledge.
Roll for the boy. Does he have cultural knowledge? He does.
Baby boy.
Yeah. I know some bits and pieces, only really the basics. I mean, I am aware of stories that were being told. I didn't pay too much mind to them. I had my own god that I connected to, Juno, but I probably remember more about him than I do about. I don't know. His name is essentially just a curse word.
I'm aware of that much.
As for more, I don't know.
It's not too far off from what I would expect of someone like that, someone who is interested in protecting Elvenkind if they are connected to the Elven Pantheon. But it's the Fenhead part that gets me.
I mean, it doesn't sound like this guy was trying to curse you.
No, it does not. I mean, it wouldn't be the first person to curse me if he was, but, you know.
Did any of them work?
What was that?
Did any of the curses work?
I don't know, you tell me.
I've never tried to curse you. Do I look like someone who knows how to make a curse
do I
happen?
look like I'm cursed? It's more just cursing out than anything.
Gotcha.
Let me roll. It's not really.
Oh,
There you go.
This is why he's your
Rylan.
information gatherer.
that's why I directed that to both of them. Because listen, he may not be.
He's being respectful and letting the Dalish guy answer.
He may not be
first.
Dalish, but he got them info. You know.
Yeah, he got the intel, just not the hardcore religious belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit.
Would you like to share with the class?
Why, yes. Do you want me to stand at the front?
Yes, actually. Go ahead. Passy says she'll take your seat.
Oh, all right.
on.
Well, pass. He'll take back his elf rip.
She'll give it to him.
Yeah. So he's he was a god, like as being described there, and he is the one that I think a lot of the Dalish tend to blame for sealing away their gods and detaching them from this world, and you know, a lot of things happened after that, and the elves have never really recovered. You know, fall of Alathan and countless marches from the Chantry. It's been a rather unpleasant history, really, for the elves, and I think a lot of them. I personally think it's misplaced because you can't blame one entity, even if they are a god, for all of your misfortune. That just seems a bit lazy, if you ask me. But in terms of what they believe, I think he's often he gets a lot of the blame. You know, something burns the sticks at the bottom of the pot, but it's fucking Fenrir, isn't it? So whether it be big grand things he is blamed for, like not being able to have your gods around anymore, or small things like you stub a toe. Yeah, well, I mean that's just hearsay. Actually, the immortal thing, that's just, you know, I think there are a lot of elves who hold on to a past that they hope is true, because if it's not true, then
who do they blame?
Well, yeah, and then this is just what it's always been. I just, you know, I've never been one to dwell on the past. You've just got to focus on your future, don't you? And just making the most of the situation you're currently in and bettering that instead of wondering what has been and who to blame, but he's usually your fall guy for
Agree.
any shit that's going on. Yeah, so I've never really heard much positive things. I did have one person actually say like a blessing that you would do with like any kind of god, impulsing, and said Fenhero. At first, I thought I maybe like misheard it. I'm not always like completely 100% sober.
I am aware of that, yes.
And I may not have been at the time, so I thought, did they say found in maybe? No, it's Fenhero. But Dreadwolf, calling them Dreadwolf specifically is an interesting one. Yeah.
Question, storyteller.
Yeah.
I know Fenharal's name is Fenharal.
Yeah.
Do I get any connection from that to Charo's old clan, which is Dinharal? Or is it just like a change of like prefix or stuff like
the Dinharals? It's just a change of prefix. It means something else. So like Haral would just mean something else. So it's it's just a different joining. Yeah.
It's just not wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. I wasn't aware. I was like, I don't know. Trying to connect dots here, but that's not a dot to connect.
No, that's not connected to him. No.
Okay. That's the last thing Shara would mean.
If anything, more connection to the wolf side is probably more likely to be a connection to him than the dread part. Yeah, he's you tend to learn bad things about him. Like one of the stories was that when the gods all got locked away and he succeeded at his task, he was just found like laughing like a madman.
What the gods do, unfortunately, is not necessarily of my concern, as there's not much I can do to stop it.
Well, no, I mean that's what I think. But here's the thing. You may not believe in it and you may not think the gods have a big impact on you, but you have to realize, especially if you are going to be working more with like elves on a wider scale, is that it is important to other people. And so if you understand where their actions maybe are coming from, it can give you a little insight. So like I don't consider myself very faithful.
I may not be faithful to Pantheon, but I weirdly enough, don't doubt their existence.
Yeah. Knowing the right,
I
like,
understand,
polite thing to say to a person when you're like, like you give a blessing to Andril to when they're going hunting.
I am aware. But I'm thinking then we should speak with him, try to foment that relationship. I will need to also speak. We have two options to get to the crows. Which is we could talk to him and see what he could connect. Though he did seem a little dodgy. Like there were certain things he could not tell me that involved me. So that was interesting.
Like what?
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong at the end, it's like why he was looking for me.
He knew of you, and he said it had nothing to do with Alejandra in their group. Yes.
Yeah, that why he knew of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could not tell me why he knew of me.
That's suspicious.
Very.
So
that's weird.
So here's
that's
a question.
Weird.
We want to talk to crows. Is that what I'm gathering?
I need to speak to my possible father to somehow get a connection to whoever took out the hit on Arlen's mother.
So
because we have learned that both of them are crows.
Yeah.
And pulling on a sort of familiar string, even if I may not like it, it might be easier than trying to get information from the crows in any other way.
So, I mean, like, here's an idea. Like, especially when we're in public, we're I'm assuming being watched and listened to at our
You
every
should always
move.
assume you're being watched and listened to in
Yeah.
public, yes.
And you, like you said, you get your hair color from your father. So I assume all you need to do is be somewhere public, like a tavern, and just have a conversation with someone that could be overheard. Be like, yeah, I'm looking for my daddy. I mean, my father, not my daddy. He looks over at Cheryl. That's you.
Oh.
The problem is that it's one thing to assume and
Yeah.
speculate
Mhm.
because of a hair color. It's
Yeah.
another thing to confirm.
Right. And so, what I'm saying is, you just say a little bit enough for a crow to approach you.
That's true.
Yeah.
But pulling in through a contact might be better than waiting for a crow to come to me, because they will find out everything.
So you want Dreadwolf guy is our contact too.
There is him, and there is another contact, Moira,
okay.
that Rylan has already sniffed around at.
Oh, I didn't know that one. So there's a lot of elves. I'm just losing track.
Yeah, there's a lot of people involved here. Yes.
Yeah. This is why. Thank you, Raiders. This is why I am. I'm just here. I'm just the help.
No. Now there is something about walking out in the open like this, which I am not afraid of, and I am not against making my presence known here, which is why tomorrow I will be going over to the alienage. I've been doing a bit of work with different alienages, and just because there are people I don't necessarily care for in there doesn't mean I'm going to stop helping.
Fair.
Where I literally came from.
Yeah. Literally your house. I mean, I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point somebody might have even already told dear old dad that you're in town.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if, that we're gonna run into him.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
What catches me off guard more is that, say the source that Celir knew about me is who we assume is my father. Why would they be talking about me?
I don't know. Do you want us to make him tell us?
Which I didn't get Celir to tell me. He said he could not tell me.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
Oh.
Yeah.
It is, interesting. And then there's the issue of trying to pay our old dear merchant prince a visit to return the favor that they gave my brother and Arlen's partner.
Indeed.
It's gonna be really hard to have a baby with one arm.
She's missing a hand. You could get like a replacement and just,
That is true. I'm just thinking about, like, I don't
Arlen
know,
has a
just
wood
holding
shop,
something
so-
and doing something while holding something. Like, I don't know.
Well, if you hold a baby with the arm with the fake hand like this, then you can use
that
the
is
other
true.
hand.
Or
to,
you can wrap it up like in a
Yeah.
bundle.
Yeah.
Or you could
We
just
used
make
a lot of slings. Also, we put them on the back. We used a lot of back slings in the alienage, at least.
Or you could just make Arlen do everything.
Yeah, he would do it probably gladly and with a smile.
Oh, easily. I have no doubt. Arlen in the middle of like a big bite of cheese. Like,
Yeah.
I imagine.
Just a baby attached to his back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of threads to pull here, and I might start pulling at some and see. If we have any questions, any information we might want to get out of Celia, possibly if they saw your uncle, since they travel quite a lot between here and the outside. So,
I mean, how hard can it be to find a dead guy? Like, an undead guy? Like, don't they? Like,
I mean, we're here to try and find him, so
that
it's
is
a little
fair.
hard.
That is, but we didn't know he was undead at the time.
I think we knew from the get-go he was undead. We're
okay.
like, oh.
If there's any threads you want me to pull in the city itself while you guys work on other things, I could easily do that.
Would you?
What would
My
you like?
dear
Yes.
Ryland. Would you like to get me information on our dear darling merchant prince?
Yeah, I can do that.
Maybe an itinerary of what they do.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, she will give him
dig
his
up as much
name. Yeah,
as I can. Yeah, Bruno Aguilar.
Bruno Aguilar. Yes.
Aguilar. I'll get the accent eventually.
It's okay. I never got the Thurldom accent down, so you know.
Yeah, that's fine. Just was my cat. Is
Yeah, I
licking
just
her
see
butt.
a little white,
little toe beans.
He's just off of camera.
Yeah.
It's Freya. It's my little
Oh,
girl.
Freya, baby girl.
Yeah. She's having
she
a
is
tummy
just,
bath.
We
She's having
see
a
her.
tummy
She
bath.
is full on display. Like,
Yeah.
like,
The camera has just cut off at the perfect time.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm glad that like
you know.
stream,
Oh, man,
you
otherwise-
guys can't see it. so
TOS.
it's fine.
Whew. Like,
Ophelia, is there anything you would like me to look into for you yourself? Provided you don't
Oh,
run
yeah.
that Bella, of course. I am, in fact,
Oh, I don't mind, yeah.
your employee.
Grade A information gathering service right here. I can lend you out, Ryland. That's no problem.
Oh, happy to be used.
I'm sure you are.
Ophelia would share with him the notes that she found about his business dealings with the merchant princes as well, since he's already looking into the merchant princes. She doesn't know what those connections were, if he like owed them money or if it was just regular business stuff. He might know more about that than she would.
Yeah.
So she would just show him the ledger that she found that had all that information in it. If it's helpful to him or not.
Yeah. He'll take anything you can give him about your uncle. Just
Anything is helpful.
yeah. Happy to be useful. All right. So what's on the docket for tomorrow?
Alienage. We might be able to get more information there. I might be able to make nice with my old crew. Depends on how long their grudge lasts. But from my information, by the way, from what Salir said, they're still a big fish, small pond type of person. Not going too much past Alienage and Antiva.
Well, they sound like small fish to me.
Yes.
But maybe I'm just prejudging them.
Even small fish, when they gather in a group big enough, can make a difference. So we should never underestimate people.
Not if you're the shark in the water.
this is why
Eat
you
them
should
all.
never pee in the ocean. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Okay, so you know how people are always like, "Oh, don't bleed in the ocean. The sharks will come after you." Right?
Yeah.
Listen, that is true, but also you shouldn't pee in the ocean because when fish are trying to get away from sharks, they empty their bladder to make themselves way lighter so that they're faster. So that sharks also associate urine. with food.
Do you think people piss is similar in its chemical composition to fish piss?
As somebody who
That's
has analyzed both for
genuine,
medicinal
yeah.
purposes.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
genuine.
have you ever been stung by a
curious,
jellyfish?
yeah.
Like, you just gotta get peed on.
I've
I
not.
thought that was a myth.
No,
I'm
you
scared of the
definitely.
sea.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
another reason for me to remain on dry land.
Yeah, fair. Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone, we're going to take watch night just in case. Let's secure windows, doors as much as we can, and get a good night's rest. And see everyone tomorrow.
I'll take first because I'm sober now, and I can't promise that
I
to
am not
happen
sober
later.
at the moment. Yes.
Yeah. No, you're not. I am.
I'll take last watch.
I mean, I might still be awake, but like,
I ain't sure, but you should get your rest. I'll take last watch.
and I got
How many
Finch
watches
to
do
help.
we need?
Mhm.
It's up to you guys. It's not quite so rigid in its rule systems as a D&D one. Y'all can
We'll
sleep
say
as long as
Arlen
you
will
want.
take a mid watch. Ophelia, I'm assuming you're not the take a watch type of person.
Oh, well, considering they have to ward the entire necropolis, yeah, they take watches.
They do,
They're all trained
That
how
is
to
true.
do that. I mean, how to
Yeah.
keep the dead inside, but I mean, same concept.
Well, now you're just keeping
Set
the
wards.
the live people out. So, you know.
Yeah. You're just looking
similar.
for movement of any kind
Yeah.
where it shouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have any wards that you can spare for this place, you know.
Yeah.
Let's get on to that. But Bella will go kind of around the house and try to secure as many. I know it's a big house, but as many windows and hopefully with Ryland's help, like, and Robin's, like, the rogues can do rogue shit and secure.
I'm just assuming like Robin is just gonna get some twine and maybe some empty bottles and just
We're gonna
make a
home
little,
alone this shit.
like a noise tripwire just to, if somebody walks in like around the doors, like
It's a sensible option, you know?
yeah.
Alright. So you guys do various rigging. What skill would each of you like to employ towards this task? We'll call it an extended task. So we have a few rolls. You have a total number you are trying to breach past.
Wards are under creation magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll roll creation.
Let's call it 13. That feels like an achievable goal.
Okay.
Declare your skill, what you're doing with it, and roll.
Setting wards. Creation magic.
It's just good. Listen, when you're a professional,
Listen.
yeah, very successful.
I
Way too
am.
Oh, we
Rolling
hit
traps.
30 for sure.
I don't know
Wait,
how
yeah.
to. I don't know how to use. I feel like lock picking is good to kind of secure locks in a way because you know how.
But you
locks
can like
work.
relock them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like relock them and maybe add something that might
Rig
make
them
it
up?
like rig
Mhm.
them up. So I'll
I'll take that.
there we go, 18.
Yeah. And ladies taking care of business.
Taking
Yeah.
care of business.
Very good.
The guys are all just sitting in the in the dining room like
They'll be helping. I imagine Rylan probably is helping with the the rogues doing their thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sharo has his own kind of thing that he just. I mean, we all here understand the game lore that the Dalish elves do often have to have some security measures around where they're camping, because they do have people, typically humans, come in to attack them. So he'll apply some more natural forms of protection and maybe do it on the grounds outside of the building before coming in. So yeah, they'll make themselves useful. The animals not so much. I think Andrew will come around and sniff things, and it very much looks like, because they're intelligent dogs. It looks like she's sniffing, like she's inspecting your work and giving you snuffles of approval.
Yeah.
Mostly she's just curious as to what you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you. She has to have her work checked over by Andrew all the time. Andrew's aware of this. She likes to be part of the process, you know? This is like mom-daughter bonding time.
Yeah.
She like taps the windowsill so Andrew can look out the window, see what's outside, and like gives a nod and then just
the vigilant perky ears of a Mabari.
Yeah. She's making sure she knows what's around her.
Yeah.
Andrew is one of the first lines of defense when it comes to warnings. So she knows how to keep people safe. She's a good girl.
And a lot of the times she's maybe the sort that would have like, because dogs will have short bursts of sleeping and then like periods when they're awake through the night. So with each of you, when you're doing your checks, I will let you all roll with advantage because we can assume at some point during your check she's helping, and she's a very vigilant girl. She's a working dog. So
she's used to like taking a rest and kind of doing her own perimeter situation. Like she's been trained because she's been with Bella for so long.
Dog,
yeah, and Bella grew up on the streets with her, so you know you gotta be aware of your surroundings. She's a guard dog, so yeah, she does her own perimeter with people. But yeah, we want to start doing checks and balances.
Yep. Roll your checks just to make sure that nothing is untoward going on.
Reception, correct?
Reception, yes.
Seeing or seeing, right?
Up to you. I mean, it's more seeing thing, because you're not looking for hidden. It's just a peripheral thing, Some of you may choose to lean on hearing more than seeing, but that's your call.
21 with a 6-point.
Nice. And these are
I'll do the one for Andrew. Do you want me to do because there's 3 washes? Do you want me to do 3 checks for Andrew?
Sure. You can just roll her roll separate then. Yeah, that makes sense.
She's a good baby.
She's a good baby. If everyone just kind of rolls, I guess, because I don't think Bella, you're not doing first watch, are you?
No, she's doing last watch. Oh my god, what is
I'm
up with
first, so
yes. So Robin, you do your roll, and then we'll get an
advantage, right?
Androl. Well, it's up to you. Either Androl rolls or you roll with advantage. That's your call.
I will roll with advantage.
You can roll with advantage.
And Finch is also that's good. Finch is also gonna roll 2. So that's why I'm gonna do that because Finch is awake, also existing. There we go.
We put Finch somewhere where he looks like a statue.
Yeah,
look like a statue. Yeah. But it's that dungeon you go into where the armor statues are about to kill you. That's
at the front door. I imagine just standing super still. But my highest was at 16. So
yeah. You don't sense or see anything that appears untoward that you wouldn't expect of an evening. It seems fairly quiet. This estate is slightly out of the way at the back end, more up into the sort of cliff region, away from the actual port and main part of the city itself. So it's quieter out here. So you're fairly confident, at least during your stretch, that nothing bad has tried to sneak in at any point.
Has anything good tried to sneak in?
No.
I'd ask.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so
snacking on cheese the whole time, and I'm just I'm gonna need some vegetables with all this cheese at some point.
Gout, my friend.
It's okay. I'm sure there's actual plum wine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All plum.
We'll get some vegetables tomorrow. We'll do some shopping.
Yeah. It's a little roughage. That's a cat butt.
Yeah. It's a cat butt. Yeah.
Who's got second watch?
It's Ophelia, I believe.
Ophelia. I'm gonna go. Poke Ophelia to wake her up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your turn.
She'll just kind of rise she's been kind of half asleep but not really asleep. Grab her stuff quietly in her notebook and call Robert to hey, let's Divide and
just
conquer.
appears. Yeah.
Just
Just
sit
starts
down
to
and I
float
light
around
up.
you.
I
Like-
now need like a little like adventures because if Andriel's also awake, it's like Adventures of Andriel and Robert.
Oh my
let's
god!
think
I
of
bet
on the other
she's
side.
chasing the skull.
Yeah,
Like they're like.
she loves Robert.
It's like, oh
yeah,
my god!
it's probably like playing fetch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you do your rolls, perception, seeing, and if you want, you can either do yours at advantage or you can let Andrew take one of your rolls. Because I imagine she's fairly good at hers.
Mm-hmm.
Perception, seeing.
Yes.
Does Robert get a roll?
Hmm.
I don't have a character sheet for Robert.
Yeah,
He's
no.
just there.
You can. We should come up with some stats for Robert. I feel not that he could do very much. I mean, you can roll. He's not able to like perceive things the way that a typical person would. You can roll a spirit roll for him if you want.
Sure.
He knows. He knows what's up.
He can see
Okay.
fadey things.
Yes, yes. Are you wanting to take an advantage on yours, or do you want Andrew to do it?
Andrew could go with us, yeah.
Sure. So saying if you could roll for Andrew.
Yeah. Smelling, hearing, searching.
Depends what sense she's what. You would get different information based on
Yeah.
what you roll.
She is. I will do hearing.
Okay.
16. I'm a
Grandmother. Okay. I would say that you guys don't necessarily. Andrew will like perk her head. And do that thing that dogs do when they hear something.
Yeah.
Not that she's necessarily able to communicate that with you, but Robert can communicate with you, Ophelia. And he says, "My dear Ophelia,
Yes, Robert.
I do believe there are some people moving through the grounds, but they don't seem to be coming closer to the house. I don't know if you're able to go and peruse their activity."
On
But
the
I-
grounds, you say, so beyond the fence.
Well, the inner fence, yes, but they're in the gardens out the back.
Interesting.
His consciousness is pointing, but he is a floating, flaming skull, so he is not able to communicate that with you. But he does, at least let you know that there is sensing a presence.
Okay. She'll ask Robert and Andrew to go get the rogues who are a little bit better at the perception part than she is. Well, she will attempt I guess just a straight magic roll to sense where they are. Like life, like is it spirit? Like you're just trying to sense life, where life is.
Yeah, I don't
a
know.
lot of
Unless
things.
if you have a spell for it,
I have a searching
but-
perception.
Yeah, that's more just using your eyes. It's if
Looking what she
they
has
were
magic-wise.
if they were spirits or beings of magic themselves,
Yeah, that
you
would work.
might be able to try and get a vibe. If it's just people, you're not able to magic vibe check them.
Could she cast death magic outwards? Let's see, how far can she cast death magic? Only 18 feet. I'm trying to think of a spell she could cast that would sense other things. She could cast 90 feet of paralyze out.
Yeah, I feel like that might have mixed effects.
I mean, they're on her uncle's grounds, and there's
Hey, intruder alert, bitch.
Yeah.
You trespassing.
Dragon Age trespasser.
You can. How far does that go?
90 feet. So she could stand out like by a window and cast it out 90 feet. That's a
There may be
ways.
more. It's a ways. The full extent of the grounds of this place, you might. It depends. You would be
Yeah.
hedging your bets that they're close to
I mean,
the
the
house.
rose can rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House also. Yeah.
So while you're kind of like flipping through your mental lexicon of your magical options as to what to do with the situation, Robert goes like, "There's anything he can do in this," which he really can't.
Andrew wakes the
Andrew,
girls
however,
up, yeah.
like will
She's
come
used to
bounding
this.
in. Yeah, you just need to say like, "Go get Mama," and she is off.
Yeah.
And will do the big licky face head
Oh,
nudges
oh.
with that giant skull of
Oh,
hers.
Andrew, okay. Got it. Thank you, my love. And she
Once it
just
seems
takes
you're
her-
awake, she then tries to like go and sniff out and find. Because I don't know if you guys are sharing like the same room. There's a couple bedrooms here, so I don't know what you're sleeping
I'm
arrangement.
assuming I am not snuggling with Bella and Shero.
You could.
I could. I could be I could be
yeah.
at your feet like a dog.
Yeah. Andrew would also know to wake Robin up by now if Robin's in the group. She's like that's auntie.
Not only is Robin
Yeah.
like Robin is asleep, but like she wakes up, and I'll take whatever penalty this was, but I smoked elf fruit to go to sleep, and so like I'm being waken up like out of my room.
Heavy fog,
just
that brain fog. Woof.
It's just a lot of licking happening.
Yeah.
At first, it feels like part of the dream, probably.
Right, and I'm just like,
Tara, stop.
Dara, no, we can't. It's Rylan, no, not the. Hi.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
but
once she's
Belle
convinced that you're to wake up,
yeah.
she then goes to find Rylan. Like she's doing the wake the people up.
Yeah.
Right. But then as soon as
wake
the
up,
last
Uncle
person is
now.
awake,
Yeah.
then she'll come back to Mama.
Yeah. She'll be making her way, all dressed and ready in case of anything to the foyer.
You're able to kind of make your way to where Ophelia is.
Yeah. What's going on?
Robert has sensed others on the grounds, not near the house, but definitely within the bounds of the outer perimeter.
How many? Does he know?
He did not say. Is Robert with them? Did he come back?
No, he's here.
Okay.
He can't do anything to like physically affect them, and he isn't gonna like possess them because that feels rude. So he probably got about halfway there, realized there's nothing he could do, and just came back to you. So he's been here for a little bit. He'd be like, there was a couple of people, a little hard to make out. I'm not sure if they've perhaps not passed on, like, you know,
not your pass
the
on,
other
but,
world. But they were making way with haste.
Okay.
they were making were they okay?
Okay. Ophelia, can Robert tell us where and what direction?
Robert, do you happen to know which direction they were headed, where they were when you sensed them? Were they in the garden?
Certainly, I can lead them to it if you would like.
Sure. Robert says he can lead you to them.
So you see the skull starting to float in a direction.
Robert, don't forget to go invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, right, my dear, yes.
Bella will talk with Robin, like maybe if Robert is going like a direction, they can like flank around. Stealthily.
Robert will go until he gets to like a window, which he assumes you can leave out of because he can just float through walls. And just floats through it, assuming that you'll follow. But once outside and going in a general direction, he will then put himself invisible, as he has been instructed.
I'm taking Andrea with me, and so I'm gonna roll stealth for her too. She's my baby. So.
Good girl. Yeah, anyone who is wishing to do an approach quietly.
Damn, Andrew! I got a 22, and Andrew got a 21 with a 5 point. Mama and Andrew have been working on this routine for a while.
Could I, instead of like doing an approach, is there I'd like to stay inside of the house but go to a room that is facing the direction that they are going to provide cover fire.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to do.
Yes, you absolutely can. So you kind of get to a window and just kind of post up, opening it enough
Yeah.
that you know that you'll be able to get arrows out of without it being so open that it's obvious that
Yeah.
you're there. That's fine. Bella and Andrew are outside. Do you want to take anyone else with you, Bella, or are you happy just to do this on your own?
Rylan might flank around with her while
Yeah?
Robin is doing the
Cover
house
fire,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's roll for the boy.
Roll for the boy. Nice.
Not bad, not bad. Okay. So you guys head outside to kind of quietly make your way to a certain area. Andrew, after going a certain distance, Robert does make himself invisible. So as not to, quite obviously a flaming skull floating in an area is not very subtle. But Andrew seems to pick up on a scent, and you kind of see her do the thing where she's like full nose to the ground and
full bloodhound.
Snuffle. Yeah. Roll perception checks. Everyone who is out there and watching this, anyone who wishes to partake, which I imagine maybe you will.
Searching.
Yes. It's up to you which sense you want to use for this, everybody. I will give you different information depending on which sense you are wishing to rely on, because it is dark, it is nighttime, so...
Yep, I'll do seeing from my vantage point.
Same.
Yep.
If Ophelia is standing by a window.
Okay.
13 on mine.
I got 17 with some stuck points.
You did.
I don't know if there's any RP stub points that I could use, but
I mean there could be, but I'm also more than happy just to honor stunts with adding in layers of cool of my own, which ultimately tend to be better than what they can give you. But there is
it's just because you're
exploration stunts are going on. Thanks. There are, if you want to look at, they're called exploration stunts, which is technically what you're doing right now. But otherwise, I'll just learn in some cool shit. So you start to follow Andrew's lead, and you kind of get to a part that it's not one of the official garden spaces, but it's definitely a stretch of just well manicured lawn with like a walkway path, and there's some topiary shapes that are a little overgrown, but not so overgrown that it looks like they're never touched. It seems like maybe someone comes here just to like upkeep the grounds, because the building hasn't been sold nor has it been used. And you're sort of moving through that space, and you don't see movement of people. She's definitely picked up a scent, and then she stops next to a bush, like a high hedge that's clearly the marking point at the end of the boundary of this land. Whatever's on the other side, you imagine is a different estate, basically. There may be some dead ground in between the two, rather than having two estates back to back, but either way, it's clearly off ground. And you kind of wait for a little minute, and what you see and where you are is like the perfect vantage point without even realizing you're doing it. You're perhaps hugging against the actual outer boundary hedge itself, while she's clearly sniffed and got to a point, and she's good. She's very well trained at what she does. Mabari are known to be like exceptionally intelligent creatures. She doesn't do the normal barking. If she was just hunting with you, she would bark to let you know when she's found something, or at least that sort of like rough sound that they make, the hunting dogs. But she knows that you guys are being quiet, so she just sort of does the stop, looking at you, ears up, and then like
that pointing,
pointing, and sort of stands her ground, waiting silently. But she looks your way just to make sure that you guys have kind of locked eyes on it.
Yeah, she locks eyes with me.
Rylan has flanked. You're not entirely sure where he is. And what happens is you become aware of a rustling on the fence, and this is a high hedge, but there's rustling that seems to happen, and then it's silent. Game recognizes game at how silent it is, but you see two lithe forms that just are shapes in the dark. Because they're wearing all black, two bodies dropping down and then going like they're gonna not go towards the house. They're like hugging the boundary as if they're using this side to hide from the other side, drop down, and they're just about to go. And you have a moment to react however you wish. They've landed knowing that they've landed and succeeded what they were planning on doing because they think these grounds are abandoned. So you have I'll give you a moment before they do the inevitable bumping in.
Yeah, is there a way that she could just they land and it's like knife to the throat from behind?
You would have to. It wouldn't be immediate because they'd have to like land and then like correct themselves as they're going. You could certainly go for one of them. There's two people here, so you could pick one. Yeah, you can try to get a blade out. Sure, I'll let that be part of your sixth then.
Or okay, just get a. Okay, so I'm actually caught. So she doesn't want to make a lot of noise, but she will. If anything, if they landed like in front of her, she is actually just going to. I feel like Andrew and her have done this before, where it's like flanking the Mabarihan on one side of the two, and then Bella on the other side, so they're kind of in the middle situation. So we can do that. But
I'll
take
roll
her dagger
that into
out.
The 6 points. Yeah. Sure, yeah.
She'll take her dagger out to be ready, but like not attacking. Because if she doesn't try to threaten an attack someone who might be a crow, it may not end well for her.
Yeah. So I'm armed and ready, but I'm not like coming for you kind of deal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they're like flanked and she's armed and ready.
Yeah. So you kind of prepare yourself for that. And then sure enough, there's like a moment where they kind of land and they do the instinctual like assessing where they've landed. One seems to spot the dog and immediately take blades out because it's a fucking Mibari. And the one that's closest to you kind of stops and turns around and looks at you. And there's a moment where like hands will instinctively move. You're watchful enough to be aware that they are similar to you, I guess. If they need to, they will be armed at a moment's notice, but they kind of pause when they see you. And just
are we lost?
No, are you?
No, I'm actually here. This is the part of my people's place. Why are you here?
Your people's place. You will notice when they're speaking, they have you. I mean, you recognize crow attire. Like, there's no mistaking it. And part of their hood is like a deep part at the front that creates like a crow's beak almost, with enough of space in it that they can see out, but it's difficult for you to see in.
And she will, noticing that they're crows, she will put her blades away. And just kind of like arms crossed, leaned against the hedge.
When you say your people's place, this is abandoned. Who are you?
Consider the place
you hear the voice at the other side being like, obviously it's not abandoned now, dipshit. But they'll say it in Antivan.
And she'll like,
and it's like a mutter to themselves almost to him, and it's quiet, but like it's silent here, so you hear it as well. Yeah,
your friend's right, it's not abandoned anymore.
Then my apologies, we were simply using this as a means to escape.
Can I do like empathy on that, just to make sure, because she wants to know if there's crows, going for her or any of them.
Makes sense.
That's an 11. I'm going to blow a success. 6 points.
Good success. We're going We're going full
crows, baby. I'm not.
I understand.
I don't. Can you change that for me, Val? If you have
I got it.
Thank you. Amazing. Love you.
They're doing that thing that I guess again some recognizing game I guess, where everything that they have said completely true. Everything that you've heard completely true. Sorry, that's one of the phrases for your Inquisitor. this was just their means of escaping. There's nothing incorrect there.
Okay. All right. Well, who am I to get in the way of pro business?
A wise decision.
Just keep an eye out and maybe keep your information up to check.
Noted. Are we tied to the owners, or is this a squatting situation? I have no interest in either, but...
We're tied.
Well, a good evening to you then.
Do I see anything that might be like a marker other than the crow, but like her hair color that peeks out, or skin color, or
you see just a slight wisp, so not enough that it looks like it's hair that's down, but like a little bit of hair, black hair.
okay, on both of them.
You can't really see the one that's
Okay.
behind him. But the voice sounded female.
Okay.
This sounds male.
Yeah.
Again, that does not tell you what
That
you
does
were
not
finding
tell
under
me.
those hoods.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
But the voices have
more feminine.
different
There's
different
a feminine
cadences.
one
Yep.
and more. Yeah.
Yes.
And she will, as more of like a game recognizing it, I'm not gonna disturb you, don't disturb me, kind of like show of like just leave us alone. She will do like a low whistle for Andrew to kind of come to her side, and she will walk away, walking backwards a little bit, and once she's far enough, she'll kind of go back to the house.
Okay. Yeah, they'll give a moment just to make sure that, make sure that you're definitely moving in that direction. And then you kind of, again, they are silent. Like you couldn't not visually see them. They landed right next to where you were. But they might as well not be there. They're not being that quiet. Yeah. She
will eventually stealth away. She's like, they're being quiet, I'm gonna be quiet. This is bad.
You can, if you want, roll me a perception check. It's what you can figure out from their general build and demeanor. If you want some extra information,
empathy.
It's perhaps more seeing, because you're doing a visual assessment.
18. Damn.
Ocular pat down for
well today.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. You would judge, as is important when you're roguing. You could estimate likely elven female, or at the very least an exceptionally slight human, but more likely elven, because they just structurally are much more slight. And by the broadness, probably human male.
Okay. She will, and she knows Rylan is out and about, so she knows she's not alone.
Yeah. He's. You can assume he is likely just keeping that watch in case you need it, but not alerting them to his presence.
Yeah.
My crossbow's out and sticking out of a window, just barely. So like,
you can see this going down.
Yeah.
And I would say your roll was high enough that once you see, because you're watching for Bella.
Yeah.
And when you see her, although it's a little difficult to make out detail because it's dark, they are wearing black. But you're aware of two figures, and then she seems to be just coming towards the house. So yeah.
That was a lot better than I expected. And she says as she walks into the house. Does she know this is just kind of common occurrence in Antiva?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It's one of those things where if you see someone clad in that kind of outfit and they have appeared or reappeared or done something, better just to leave well enough alone. Have you seen the footage recently of Paris where there's like a fire going on the street and some people are just like correcting their chairs and sitting down in a cafe, just paying it no mind?
Kind of like that.
It is that's the way the Parisians do it right now. If you're not aware, if your news outlets are not letting you know, educate yourself on what is happening in France right now. They're rising up against their leadership. Power to the people.
As the
But yes,
French do.
as the French do. Listen, you don't fuck around with it. We like our countries are all putting up with a lot of shit right now and just stressing about it and complaining about it, but not necessarily doing overly much. France was told we're upping your pension age by a couple years, and there is rioting. Like people are like setting fire to the Louis Vuitton headquarters,
Yeah.
storming buildings, lighting fires. They are like, my pension, what now? And there's graffiti about guillotines everywhere, and I'm like, on yourself, Baron.
Listen, the French don't fuck around.
No. They allow you to lead their country, but let me tell you, if you
They
fuck
learn.
around too much,
They learn.
yeah. Yeah. When King Charles was going over, there was graffiti that says, "Have you ever been introduced to the guillotine, King Charles III?" And I was like, he didn't end up going to France. Anyway. All that being said,
Yeah.
Antiba has a similar kind of vibe. If you saw a crow doing their business, you saw nothing.
Mhm.
If you saw a crow, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But she will
I'd
make
seen
her way
nothing.
back to it.
Yeah.
I do not see.
Yeah.
Good time for a break, I'm thinking, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a perfect time for a break.
Yeah, Romeo is asking to leave, and I'm in great need of a bio as well. So, all right, everyone, we're gonna take our 10-minute break here. We will be back shortly with the second half. So we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sup, nerds? We're back live. We're talking about crows with knives. And not the assassin kind, but the actual
actual
kind.
animal kind.
Maybe he was also an assassin.
He could be an assassin. I wouldn't be surprised if Canuck was
I mean,
a member.
The least you suspect him, you're like, oh my god, that's so funny. And then when he kills someone,
With the knife!
you never see it coming.
Canada, though, am I right?
Let's see. I'm really... Anyway, we're back. We had some...
Speak of the other crows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that have for sure murdered people.
Yep, it's part of their shtick.
Look, he has a
So
whole
there was an
Wikipedia
encounter.
page. Sorry.
With we had an encounter with some crows. They were just going about their business and assumed this was a abandoned ground that they could quite conveniently use as a through path, and then encountered Bella.
And Andril, she was very
Andril, so scary. When you eventually make it back into the estate, Rylan is not terribly far behind. He was fairly in step with you and just kept enough distance so that they didn't see him, but he could see them.
Yeah. Whew. That was lucky. She will tell the group it was just crows passing by.
Listen.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
Just Antiva things.
Yeah, she talks about it like it's nothing, like literally just birds passing by. It happens.
That's good, because I couldn't see shit, so I would have been a terrible shot. My eyes are so fuzzy right now. I'm gonna
go back to sleep.
I'm gonna go back to bed. So,
Oh.
and I look at Angela. Don't tell them what I was dreaming about. And like, go back to bed.
Okay. Yeah. Those who need to or wish to are able to go and partake of being in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she'll let Ophelia and we'll go back to bed and I'll keep last watch, yeah?
Okay. All right.
And,
you rolled really high with yours because I think you'd already rolled yours, right?
Yeah, I'll roll one for Andril though, since she rolled 21 with I think 5 stunt points. I'll roll hearing for Andril. Andril, baby girl, you're great. 16 for her.
She a grandmother.
She a grandmother. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm aware of it. We often drop that just for those in the audience who are not Vine aficionados. It's a Vine reference. Okay. Nothing else seems to be happening that evening. That was your excitement for the night. You don't notice or get the sense that anyone has come looking into your place. Given your very high roll, there is a moment where it appears that what you could assume are guards do pass by the very front gate, which suggests that they're on like the street side of things, so they're not on your grounds, but they do pause and look in at the house for a little bit before passing on. So you notice that, but
and she has locked that front gate again, so for all intents and purposes, it looks abandoned. But yeah, she has locked that again. I feel like at that moment she's like just thinking to herself how useless it is to be a guard in Antiva.
If they were guards, but yes,
if we're guards, yeah.
Yep. But the morning comes, the sun rises. It's a beautiful sight here. And those who feel like awakening bright and early are able to do so.
I'm gonna go find
anyone who wishes to sleep in a little bit can sleep in a little bit.
I feel he is an early riser. I feel maybe not like super early, but she gets her rest and gets to work and doesn't. You know.
You guys are probably on fairly strict routines
Yeah.
back home. Yeah.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna go wander at the morning market and go get us something to make for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Bella
as
will
much
go
as
with
I
you.
enjoy cheese,
Yeah. Bella will go with you. She's not
Yeah.
letting anyone leave alone.
I mean, I was
Mhm.
gonna take Finch. Like, but thank you. I appreciate
Hey, you
it.
can take Finch. You can take Finch.
I mean, I'm
She
not
trusts
saying,
Finch.
you know what, we actually could leave Finch here to watch over the house, because here's the thing, if someone is sneaking by, I would rather they not realize that the stone person standing right there is just gonna hold out their hand and bitch slap them when they come around. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'll be the girls, Bella, Robin, Andrew.
Mhm.
Yep.
Girls' day, girls' morning.
Figure we could go get some back bacon, some mushrooms, and some tomatoes to make, or some beans, make a breakfast.
You can easily pick those things up. You roll a perception check for general market
I
shenanigans.
will do perception check of general people watching us.
Yeah.
Let me.
Ophelia would actually like to go with you guys too.
Oh, look at us! It's a whole gaggle
It's a
of
girls'
gals.
morning.
The gals' night, yeah.
She wants to look for clothing that's more mundane, like not nobility, but not like lower class either.
Yeah.
That aren't obviously mage robes.
Yeah.
That's the key. Okay. So,
Is that also
Robin,
searching?
yes. Yeah. You can roll searching. I would say you can roll twice and take the higher roll because Bella's a native here, so. Oh,
She'll guide you.
to be honest with you, 16 is enough, but.
I saw Ophelia and I saw blank numbers. I'm like, wow, how did you manage that? The numbers took a second to load on the roll.
Yeah.
I'm like, what god did you piss off?
The maker is furious. Okay. Breakfast is able to be found. There is an absolute wealth of ingredients, like not just the basics that you're looking for, but there's nuance and options within the things that you're interested in, and actually other things that you perhaps hadn't considered. Various things that you can cook up for a breakfast. There is a number of stalls that are selling fresh vegetables and fruit and stuff, like fresh produce. Meats, there's enough butchers that are selling meat that it's somewhat competitive, so you get good deals for things, and they each have like things that they specialize in. So really, you can get as nice a bounty of food as you would like. Ophelia, you are definitely able to find some nice clothing that just pass as well dressed, looks nice, but it's not like screaming I am nobility or I am a mage. Just nice clothing in whatever style you wish. The thing about Antiva City is not only there's a healthy representation of Antivan clothing, which seems to be bright colors, embroidery, lots of rich jewel tones and golds here and there for accents, and but it's a big trading city. So it's the major port of Antiva, which is just the Rialto Bay. I mean, there's pirates, sure, but also a heck of a lot of trade comes out of here. So really, there's styles from all over Thedas and beyond. So you can, whatever style you would like her to rock, in whatever colors you would like, she is able to pick up.
Okay. She would probably pick something that's closest to Antivan, but modest, because she's not very like, hey, here's my chest. Here's
my heaving bosom.
Here's the girls.
So, like, she's kind of, she's got a chest, but she doesn't need to like.
We'll get you that like high neckline.
Or maybe just something that's like slightly open here, but it's not like plunging.
It's just like the collarbone.
Yeah.
They're not hanging out, but we know that they're there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You still know that she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she'll get something fashionable, probably in the darker tones, because that's what she's used to.
Yeah.
Darker tones.
Makes sense. In terms of people watching, she do have that heaving bosom though. Yeah.
She's got her own distraction. Sorry. I'm gonna stop talking now.
There's definitely a lot of people out. And Antiva's one of those cities that It's not like there's periods of the day where it's really quiet and nobody's there because it's very early in the morning. There's always something going on because there are likely hot spots for jovial activity that actually only close their doors and people roll out of them at like 6 in the morning. So there's always some activity going on. There's you know what you're looking for when you see crows, and actually you hear guards, not like Antivan guards, but clearly like personal guards of somebody's building or business, you're not sure, running down a street and shouting after two people. And you do notice, and you know what, everyone's numbers was fairly high, so even though it's not what you were looking for, you all become quite aware of the sound off down one side street, and you see one person again dressed all in black in the outfit that you now recognize as being a crow, and you see them run and take a step up it looks like two bricks that are only ever so slightly hanging out of the brickwork of the side of a building, but they're enough to get footfalls on. And then you see them, it looks like they hit their hand off of the wall face, but they catch on to something and pull, and it looks like this cord, like a full pulley system, and the cord just zips them up, and they're just shoot up about 4 stories up into the air and up onto a rooftop, and they're gone.
Bella's looking at this, and as they leave, and then she like looks back to Ophelia. But yeah, I think the dark blue would look really well with that.
So you're aware of proactivity.
Yeah.
You're impressed that it seems that not only are they good at what they do, but the entirety of Antiva City is rigged up to their benefit.
Yeah. Again, Bella thinks how useless it is to be a guard in Antiva.
Yeah, if you know, you know, and not everybody knows what all these things are, but when you know, you know. Yeah. You do notice, however, there is one point that fairly casual patrol, if you will, of a rooftop. There is a person that seems to keep pace with you down one street and into another, and then they're gone. It was enough to note just that they seemed...
the group?
Bella, because you were
okay.
specifically people watching while they were looking for other things. So you do notice that, certainly with your 18. And they seem to keep pace on the 2 streets that you're on, and then are gone.
Okay. She doesn't mention anything.
Okay.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you get the clothes that you wanted to get?
Yes, I think these will do nicely.
I have some really great leather workers here. I mean, I don't know if it's up to your standard, but it's amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else you would like to go? Robin, did you want to get something else?
I'm here to get things to make us breakfast with. That's my goal.
I know a great place to get some fresh eggs.
Oh, fresh eggs would be awesome.
Yeah.
Fresh eggs, back bacon, mushrooms, maybe some...
Don't know mushrooms. They might be a little bit more expensive since that's not really like a thing. Like it is. Gotta...
You literally just... Do they not know how to forage? I could just go foraging. 1 second, hold on. 1 second, there's a young man at my door.
Okay. But we can go to the market stall and...
Thank you.
But let's just keep an eye, like, as their move, if they see this person again.
Uh-huh. No.
Okay. Okay.
My apologies.
Big boy!
It's
Hi.
the Lord's
My
son.
apologies.
Hello, Lord's son.
It's
Where
the
are you going?
chonkers.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
You're able to pick up, well, while they may be a little on the expensive side, you guys are cashed up.
Yeah.
So, you're able to get some mushrooms.
yeah, some mushrooms, and anything like other, like, maybe like some root vegetables, beets, or something like that. Just in general, just the kitchen had cheese and wine, but the perishables were a different story. Like,
Yeah.
Robin is she's just hungry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Like, as far as looking for anything in particular, I mean, no, nothing particular other than food. Mm-hmm. To go back and make breakfast with, like, and enough for like a couple of days, so she doesn't have to do this right when she wakes up again. Like,
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. You are free to head back with your breakfast goodies and have a breakfast. It's very nice, and there's a beautiful kitchen here for you to cook with. And things like oils and preserved things, like things to actually like cook it with, are still there because they can keep fairly well. So yeah, you cook up a storm, and everyone has a breakfast of champions, to be sure.
Yeah, just we're gonna need.
Bella got her like uneven spices to try out. I really go. Well, if everybody's all filled up with food, I'm gonna go about my thing. Go to the alienage. Whoever would like to come is free to come with me. But I am just checking in on some old friends. Not those old friends, just actual old friends. I might end up checking in for those old friends, technically, actually. So.
I mean, I'm here to help you with whatever you need to help with friends. So, we're going to the alienage. We're going to the alienage.
Yeah.
Said if we're going to the alienage, we're going to the alienage. I'm telling you where you're going. So.
I know I can always count on you.
I am very dependable.
Would you like to come, Ophelia? I might not be...
Yes, actually, I would love to.
All right.
Have you ever been to
She'll don her new outfit all spiffy.
Yeah.
Can she search her uncle's room to see if he has a staff that looks more like a cane, like a short quarter staff that might be less obvious that it's a staff that she could borrow?
What, your glowing flame one isn't
I know, right? She's been using it as a walking stick, but it's
Yeah.
still bladed at one end and it's got a giant flaming crystal on the other. I mean,
you can do a searching roll for me.
okay. He's got that fancy closet. He might have a staff somewhere in there. You never know.
Do have a fancy closet. It seems that what you would know about your ancestor is that when he came here, he did not have to necessarily hide the fact he was a mage, given who and what he was. So he probably had a very nice, in fact, you may know well of it. I imagine it's probably in his crypt. A very nice staff that was kind of the only one that he really used. So perhaps there's nothing here for him to try and be subtle about things.
Okay.
In theory, you don't need your staff to cast spells. You just wouldn't be able to do Arcane Lance because I believe that is one that comes out of your staff.
Yes. So she could leave it behind because she doesn't need it to cast her sensing ability with her necromancy either. So
yeah,
it's up to you. I mean, if you keep it and someone's like, "Oh my God, mage," Bella will stab someone. It's fine.
Robert is not attached to the staff, right? Robert is attached to an item that she has. Oh yeah, he's attached to a talisman that she carries.
Yeah.
Okay, so she could still bring Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, she can leave it. She can leave it behind this time if all they're going is to the aliens. All she's doing is she's searching the city for signs of the dead, who are,
Makes sense.
you know, not quite dead.
Mm-hmm. When you guys are off doing that, by the way, just to note, Rylan has gone off to do his various investigating that you guys have tasked him with, so he is doing that today.
Can you repeat that for me? I'm so sorry. I was looking through some notes.
Rylan's not hanging around or you know,
Mhm.
of use to you today, as he has gone off
Yeah,
after
he's-
breakfast. He's out and gone to do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
jobs that you've asked him to. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. On the way there, she will still be keeping an eye out for this crow.
Hmm. Sure. Roll me another perception check as you go head back into the city again, because you're staying on the outskirts where this estate is, and then you have to go into the city. So.
Yeah. Searching or seeing or tracking?
It's more searching because you're looking for hidden things, which I suppose this person is, or people.
15.
Okay.
With a 2 some point. I'm not a grandma yet.
No grandmother yet.
No.
You don't necessarily. I mean, there's.
There are crows up and about the city.
Yeah, and you see them, and if they're a crow worth their salt, you're not really gonna notice them.
Yeah. That's the thing is that if she sees them, that's information. If she doesn't see them, that's also information.
Mm-hmm.
So she's aware. She's like, but she will go to the alienage with her friends. On the way there, she will ask Ophelia, "It's like, I'm surprised you wanted to come with."
Oh, why?
Well, I didn't really think an alienage would be a place you'd want to be in for, because, listen, I'm not going to lie. Human, high-ranking, noble.
Well, it is true that I didn't see much of the alienage in my own city, but then again, I never really left the Grand Necropolis, so I was
It's definitely going to be different.
It's in a kind of binding of my own, I suppose you would say, a place that I was kept, not unlike a circle.
Well, it's definitely more lively in the alienage, that's for sure.
I would agree with this, yes.
I imagine it's more lively just about anywhere.
Yeah, a graveyard is more lively than the necropolis.
You know, my
Perhaps.
sibling was telling me how one of their author friends sometimes had sex in a graveyard. Not with the corpses.
Oh, I was going to ask.
But like with other living people. Very specifically, Crane was telling me how this friend had sex on her mother's grave. Yeah.
I think I heard a similar story.
I mean, like, there's only so many writers in Thetis, so.
Yeah.
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 Technically, my sibling is an artist, not a writer, but you know what? I forgot what he does.
Circles. Similar circles.
It's sculpting.
Yeah, it's sculpting. But I guess they all go to the same fine arts thing. I don't know. I'm not an educated person. Like, I've never been to university.
Yeah. Inclined person like that, like visual arts. I mean, I would say what you do with hair is visual arts, but you know.
Ah, thanks. But yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm hoping.
You spend so much time learning one thing. How are you supposed to learn how to do all of the other things?
Come on.
That's how I feel about it. It's better to be a jack of all trades, in my opinion.
Yeah. She will continue this talk as they make their way to the alienage, and she's gonna look out for people that she may know. But her goal right now is to talk. Who she's hoping it's still kind of like, you know how alienage will have like a leader, but like unofficial kind of. But it's like an elder.
They have an elder, yeah.
Yeah. She will be looking for them because she wants to work directly with them on what the alienage might need.
Yeah, you know the path. towards where she stays, so you can go and just
Yeah.
see if you can
She
figure that
will-
she's still there.
Because she's done this before, she will bring Sharo because he's a great handyman.
He is.
Yeah.
Sure, you can bring him along.
She will let I feel like Robin would know this because they've spent so much time with Bella, but she will kind of explain to Ophelia, like, not really a hierarchy, but like how the community in an alienage works. Like there's a elder and people kind of like that work together to, it's more of a raised by a village, takes a village, type of situation.
They're communist.
Yeah.
They live in a commune. They're communist.
Yeah. They did. They're a nice, pure sense of what a communist is. Yeah, you're right.
And she will...
Because I think it's also noted that they don't always like trade in coin with each other. It's just if you need food, you get food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need shelter, you get shelter. So yeah, it's
yeah.
what communism should be.
You can, if you need to sleep somewhere, there's an open door. You're like, can I sleep here? Like, yeah.
You'll get somewhere safe to sleep. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys are cooking. You got a plate to spare. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
But she will make her way. She will do a perception to see if she notices anyone on her way there that she might know.
Yes.
Seeing or search. I always ask because I never know which one is which.
Searching. So searching is specifically looking for hidden things. Seeing is just using your sight.
Yeah. And then we'll do seeing.
Because if you're not looking for, because looking for a person who is following you is looking for something that is specifically hidden.
Yeah.
15 though, that's really good. You see a number of familiar faces and some that perhaps are not so familiar. The thing about
she's been away for a while,
Yep, and aliens, you tend to occasionally you'll marry in with the in the alienage that you were born in, but sometimes you will go and move to a different alienage, then get married to someone who's in a different one because it kind of stops that sort of like limited blood pool. Yeah, basically. So
we're not doing none of those white people nonsense shit here.
Yeah. They'll be true though. So yeah, there are people that you don't know, but others that you do recognize probably look older than what you remember. You can see there is a couple you note kind of further away and dealing with a couple of people. As they're sort of like unpacking some crates, you will recognize the two older men that you know of. So that's Esteban and Antonio. You can see that they're talking and dealing with some younger elves who are maybe like in their late teens, early 20s. While they're unpacking some crates, the door, as ever, is open ahead of you to where you know Amara, who is the elder. You know that she's in there. Whether it's still her that's in there, you're not sure. Maybe she's passed. You don't know. You do see they don't see you. They're away dealing with something else, so it's up to you if you want to do that thing where you're like, I'm just gonna cross the street. You see Cassandra, who was a member of your old group, is off dealing with something where she's kind of like, you see her putting some vegetables into a cart to perhaps carry away for herself, but is facing away from you, so you do not think that that she sees you.
She will. It's just Cassandra that she sees. She will tell Ophelia and Robin to wait for a moment, like with Cheryl, and make her way over to Cassandra. Kind of like silently. And it's just kind of a very friendly tone, like taking a vacation day.
There's like a moment of like, what? We'll turn around, and then there's like a moment pause, and then a smile. Bella,
Hi, Cassie.
was not expecting you here.
Hi.
not a vacation. Well, it's a day off. I'm just collecting some things to cook later. How are you? Are you back?
I'm visiting for a while. Might be here a few days, maybe a few weeks, not sure yet. But I wanted to visit all places. And yeah, just show some new friends of mine where I came from. How are you? How's the group?
Fine. We're the same as ever, really. Couple of newer, younger members just to help out with some jobs, but and you see, like, occasionally she's like looking over your shoulder. But fine.
I can leave.
Everyone's
You don't
fine.
want them seeing you talking to me.
I don't mind that. I just don't know if you want to see them or them to see you.
I know where I know that I am here, and I'm not sneaking around. They see me. They see me. I don't want to put you in trouble, though.
Don't worry about that. How are you doing?
I'm good. Do you want to meet some of my new friends?
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
not here to hurt you, Cassie. Or
No, I know
trick
that.
you. You can
I know
even go back to them and tell them all you met and who I know and information or whatever. I don't bet they'll grill you after this.
Maybe. Introduce me to your friends.
She'll cross the street with Cassie, and she will introduce, Robin, Ophelia, and Sharo to Cassandra. And it's like, this is Cassandra, we used to work together. She is a amazing fighter.
So you guys see about the same kind of height as Bella, darker skin and dark brown hair, black almost, with sort of like honey colored eyes. Let me just show it to players. Sorry, everyone, I can't show you because it's not art we own. But yeah, so you see this elf approaching and gives you all a bright smile. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Bella pulled me out of a catfish. That's how we're friends.
Oh. Very good. Did she pull you out of anything?
A lot of different troubled situations. Yeah.
She'll be looking at Ophelia when she says that, just to see if it's a common theme
habit,
of what you do.
Just pushing people into catfish so I can save them.
Yep.
This is Ophelia.
No, but it's a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
And this
We don't see many of either of you in the alienage.
I figured I should bring a novelty for the kids to stare at. And
well,
I feel
I don't know if humans are a novelty exactly, but I understand where the joke comes from.
Yeah. And this is Sharo. Because I used to run in the same circle as Cassandra before. And as she's talking, she's gonna try and look where Cassandra was looking behind her.
Yeah. Roll another
Scene.
Perception check.
19.
Nice.
I'm a great grandma. 6-point stunt. Shit.
Not right away, but eventually, you do see coming out of another place of business, Imani, who is slightly taller again has darker skin, and also an elf. Kind of comes out, and you see her looking over to where is it he? I forgot.
Imani, she.
Imani's a she. Looking over to where Cassandra was and kind of doing a bit of a look around and approaching that area.
Maybe we should cut this meeting short. I just wanted to introduce you to a few people. I think someone's looking for you, Cassandra.
Yes. It was nice to meet you all.
It's lovely to see you.
And you. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm assuming you're doing well.
I am, actually.
Good. Bye, everyone.
Oh, bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
And she'll turn and sort of scamper off. And you can see her approaching and talking to, and then, whether it's intentional or not, walking in the opposite direction of where you guys actually are.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we go talk to the elder? Sorry about that being awkward. I figure she might be the best person to tell the others that they saw me. Or whatever they want to know. And I'd like for them to know how cool my friends are, that I'm not running alone, that I have awesome people around.
Oh, you wanted to know how cool we are. Maybe I should stop telling the captor story because that is not...
I think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious, but it isn't cool. Like, I need to start opening with the dragon thing again and not...
It's not quite. We fought a dragon
yeah.
and a demon.
Yeah.
We were in the Fade.
Yeah.
Rolling around with a death mage.
Yeah. I mean, the captor story is funny, though.
Yeah. As you're saying this, she's walking over to, like, the elder's door and just knocking.
Yeah. The door is open. It's often intentionally open just so that people can come and go as they please. Yeah. You head inside and you see older than the last you saw her, but even then she's fairly old. Amara, who is the elder for the alienage. Let me just go ahead, Amara. I do. There we go, just so that everyone can see her. Dark skinned. Her hair is almost completely white now, white grey, and braided and kept up in a bun. Looks very majestic.
Like, this lady's got, like, pull.
Yeah. The best way I can sum that up is this majestic, wise looking lady. Yeah.
Is that tattoos or beading? The orange.
It's beading. It looks like beading. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah. The art also appears to have titties out, which this lady does not have her titties out.
No.
But you know.
Yeah. The lady does not have her titties out, yeah.
But you can see that she's speaking to a couple of people. But as you enter, we'll look your way. And there's like it just takes a second just to kind of cycle through all of the people that she knows, to recognizing you, and she gives you a warm smile.
She'll smile back, and she actually kind of goes in and holds her hand and just. Amara, how have you been?
I have been well.
Good.
I see you have returned to us.
I have, if only for a short time, but I have.
As is often the case.
I come not to start any trouble or anything, but hopefully to offer help. I've been working with a few other aliens just to try and upkeep things.
What manner of upkeep?
And she will kind of like talk about what she's done with other alienages, whether it's setting up connections or teaching people how to build their homes better with Sharo. Money for them to start either their own little like food gardens or to set up trade with people to get discounted food, stuff like that. Money for like teaching and learning, like books for kids and stuff like that, and all that matter.
You have been very busy.
Yes, and that's not even half of what I've been doing. Um,
You must have seen some fortune to be able to afford
I
this.
have, yes, and the lessons imparted to me here have not left. I'd rather share my fortunes with those around me than keep it to myself.
See, you have learned well. I'm glad to see that you are seeing such fortunate times. Introduce me to your friends. I do not know them, and forgive my saying, but it is not common for me to meet with humans and dwarves.
It is not. But they are very good friends. This is Robin. We've traveled along together for quite a while, and this is Sophia. We're recent friends, but she's good people. And this is Cheryl, my. It's, it's,
They gotta get married.
I don't know how to. I was trying to say
Betrothed.
Betrothed.
yeah, betrothed.
Yeah.
English is not my first language. But
Yeah, it's
my
all
fiance.
good.
Yeah.
Ah. Blessings to you both then. Come, sit. Can I offer any of you some refreshments? We have some spiced apple tea.
Oh, yes.
That's always really good. You guys should have
Sounds
that.
awesome.
Thank you. That sounds lovely.
Mm. And you can see the furniture in here is somewhat mismatched. It's not like it's a set, but it is all comfortable, and a lot of it, whether it is painting or carvings on the woodwork or just the stitching or pattern on softer furnishings, there is elven influence, not necessarily like fully Dalish, but certainly any time you guys have seen elven design, it looks like that's fairly common here. But you are free to take a seat in this area, this room that she has, and you are served spiced apple tea. There's various little sweet treats. It's not full like baklava, but it's also not massively dissimilar. Lots of little treats for you to partake should you wish.
Oh, Bella is like, fuck yeah, I've missed this.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't say no to snacks.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's good. This is really, you know, when you arrive at a country that is not classically and typically white, everything is flavorful and well spiced, including their sweet treats. I would be interested to know what has brought you all here. Is it simply a visit home for you, Bella, or is there something that brings you all to this place?
Well, we all kind of have our own agendas here. Me helping out in here is just one of them. You would have happened to have seen don't know if my father has been around.
Well, I have seen him. He does not live in a permanent residence within the alienage itself anymore.
Yeah.
But occasionally he has passed through or needed information from someone or been passing on certain things to people. He's occasionally here. But not a common sight, no.
That's alright. Figured I'd ask.
I do my best to have an awareness of those who grew up here.
I wouldn't expect
what they do
anything
with
less from you.
themselves.
And Ophelia's also here for a few reasons, though those are hers to speak. Should she want to. What is it that you all need most at this moment in the alien age?
Well, there are certain things that are always requirements that we manage to obtain one way or another, food and making sure everybody has shelter. There was an area more towards the coastal side that there was wood rot all through a taller building that nobody was harmed. The building was no longer fit for purpose. Parts of it have now already fallen off and into the sea, but
well,
it's
I do have in my company an amazing master craftsman. She'll point to Cheryl.
in the Dalish sense or the I'm very good at my job sense?
In the Dalish sense.
I
And
see.
as well as another gentleman who runs his own wood shop in Ferelden, who's very good at their job in that sense. So he is another Avar. You've heard of Avar? They're like humans but bigger.
Can't say
Mountain
that I have.
humans, Highlanders.
I see. You would know that the Avar are exclusively a Ferelden thing, really.
Yeah.
And they were one of the Amari tribes.
Yeah.
So you know the goddess that the humans worship.
Yes.
She used to be one,
Right.
but they don't. Or her husband was one, right? Like they were Avar, weren't they?
Yes, the southern humans do tend to have, all humans, in fact, stories that all overlap one another, and they insist one is right and one is wrong.
Something like that. Anyway, so yeah.
They worship different gods, though.
Yeah. They worship different gods. They like, it's like their heritage or their origin story came from these mountain people, and they left and started that whole Andraste thing, and then, but the Avar stayed in the mountains because they're like, no, that's really far down in the lowlands, and we like hanging out with bears, so. That's what they're doing.
Respect that.
Yeah, they're much better than city humans.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, I'm not prejudiced.
Ophelia.
Ophelia just raises an eyebrow and quietly sips her tea.
I
No
couldn't
offense,
possibly
Ophelia,
comment.
Yeah.
Anybody that has money is good for me.
Again, she raises her other eyebrow. Few words.
Sits
many
in
looks.
dwarf.
Are you here for long?
We might be here for at least a week or two. More if necessary. I have no rush right now, but I do have to help Ophelia with her own business.
Well,
See where that takes us.
I'm not sure that would be enough time to correct that situation, or indeed teach people here the art of crafting. It's not typical that skill set is found outside of the Dalish. They guard it very carefully. I don't wish to inquire into something that may be sensitive, but
whatever Cheryl wishes to teach is of his own free will.
Cheryl, I mean, you can roll an empathy check if you like. Perception.
Good hubby.
Yeah, hubby. I'll let you roll twice if you like, cause you know. We all know our significant others better than most.
18.
Okay. He is. He's often he's a quiet person just by his nature. He's obviously an introvert. But beyond that, while he's sitting here, what's interesting is that there's a kind of respectful quiet that seems to have kind of taken him. So although she's speaking about things, and yes, actually what she's leaning towards is, why is a master craftsman not with the Dalish clan? Which is a sensitive topic, but he's not even he's he is aware that for city elves she is the equivalent of a keeper.
Yeah.
And there is a respect that you have to put towards keepers. His parent was the keeper of his clan, so like he is in here doing the quiet introvert thing, but there's just this respectful quiet where he is just kind of nodding along with what she's saying, and he's not reacting to it in any kind of way, because he's respectful of her.
I don't know how to. It's kind of like sharing a look with Sharo to see if he's okay with her saying what happened.
Yeah. He'll give you a smile and a nod of his head.
Okay. Unfortunately, his clan is no more. Well, they weren't for a while. They are recuperating, and a new keeper has taken hold. They had to gather their forces in an alienation for open.
Yeah, you know that they've started to travel now again.
Yeah.
He managed to get enough Arabels put together for them. He will kind of nod, well, not even nodding his head. He's like bowing his head to her. I have come to listen. He not only drinks his respect woman juice, but respect his elder juice as well. I have come to understand the plight of city elves and the fact that we talk of Dalish elves and city elves, but we are all elven people as one, and if my skill sets can be of benefit to our people, then I am willing to share.
Zilla just has a proud smile. She's like, that's on my own.
And you know, Amara looks suitably impressed.
It's kind of the thing where, like, even though Bella hasn't been here, this is still her elder.
Yeah.
And like any approval to Bella means the world.
Yeah.
It's like introducing your fiance to your grandma.
To your yeah, and it goes well, and she likes him, and he says respectful things. You're like, oh, this is
It's like introducing them to your grandma is more stressful than introducing them to your mother. Yeah.
So she will. I mean, we can discuss that another time then, perhaps, to share what we can. Show an area. We've managed to temporarily house those who were in that building, but these taller structures do tend to house a number of people, so we are a little tight for space right now.
Money-wise, I know you all have your own connections and sources. Is there anything I can give you right now that would help immensely? That would at least help for now.
Yes, there's always a need. And multiple things that it could be useful for. We are...
Go ahead, continue.
We are fortunate here compared to our fellows in other countries and territories, in that often some of our own come to influence the way that Antiva is. that perhaps we are better protected than most.
I believe before she had spent around 5 gold per alienage.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're setting yourself up as
Yeah.
like a situated, you have a system of support, it's about 5.
Yeah. She will take out her bag
Mm.
and she counts out 5, 10 gold,
Mm.
puts it in a small pouch, and hands it over to Amara.
This is a substantial amount of money.
If I had more to spare, I would. I will be sending more, even if I am not here.
I understand. What would you want it spent on? You know here better than an outsider would.
I want to make sure that growing up here it's a little bit easier for the next generations than us. Learning, food, shelter for the kids, books. I know Esteban has a limited source of books, but
The same books are read time and time again.
maybe we can get some more to add to that collection.
I will see it done.
Good. And support for those that may show some magical inclination.
In what way? Things right now are delicate in that regard.
Anything that might keep them out of the hands of. Are Templars and Circles a thing in Antigua?
Uh-huh. Yeah. There are very few
yeah.
nations in Thedas where it
Yeah.
is not a thing. But you know right now there are no circles. All of them fell, including the
Yeah.
Antivan ones. Every mage right now is an apostate, and
Yeah.
while some mages and Templars have gone more official routes
Yeah.
with their various things, a lot are just in a free-for-all killing each other right
Yeah.
now.
Anything to help keep them on a better path than the free-for-all that is the world right now. For them. I have traveled a long way and I've seen many things. I'm not as well versed in that as I am, but Ophelia, maybe you might have some ideas.
We have no means of educating or keeping safe those with that particular skill set. I don't know what options there are right now.
That's alright. At least just focus on the little ones.
If you have suggestions, I am open to them.
I don't right now. I don't know enough about magic.
What about the tomes in my uncle's library? On the basics, at least.
That could be a start.
I have no use of them, and neither does my uncle.
Would that
Fair.
be of any help? It might better teach them how to control things better.
Sure. And I mean, anything that can.
And it might inform you all better on how to better help someone. If it's possible at all.
We can only try. It is not a situation, as far as I'm aware, that we are currently experiencing right now.
I know.
Any that had presented were already in circles. I don't think any have presented since the removal of the circle. Let's call it that.
Yeah. At least focus on the little ones, shelter, food, education, anything to keep them off the streets in the way that, others are. anything to keep them from any dangerous agreements. Not the usual ones here, but other ones. So not this is I know like she's talking like getting picked up by the crows is not necessarily something people just give into.
Yeah.
But anything to keep them in positions where they're less safe from getting picked up or getting into like like the youth getting into like gangs and stuff like that situation.
Yeah.
After
can try
school
our
program. We'll buy some toys, learn to shoot some hoops. She's basically funding an after school program, basically. Don't do drugs, kids.
We can see it
A
done.
high zeal fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, that royal elf fruit, man.
Yeah.
Don't do
We'll be
drugs
getting
until you're
different.
19, kids.
Yeah. And do it safely with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for this. Anything that you need that we are able to provide is yours, of course. And that goes for your friends as well, I assume.
Yeah. Let me tell you, they're pretty famous in the Eluvians back home. We had a whole drinking contest.
Yep.
It was great.
We killed a dragon. And we have one.
And we...
Right. Well, you have
She's not lying.
I'm not.
She's not lying.
I'm really bad at it, honestly.
You have been up to much, I can see.
I have, and there are stories that I will tell you. Do you, by any chance, know anything of an elven man called Samir?
And I like how they call it's an elephant man in the...
Elven.
There's an elephant man!
It's an elephant man.
The name rings a bell.
I just wanted to see if he had any reputation, at least with you.
We are a very large alienage. If it's who I think it is, it's someone who once had residence here and left for a time and then has returned, much like yourself.
Alright.
Is he a part of a cult?
Me?
No, the
A
elephant
cult?
man. Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
He left with some interesting parting words. That's all I'm saying.
That makes it feel like he's in a cult.
Uh-huh.
When he parts with, may the Dreadwolf guide you.
It's a little culty.
I think it's just religious beliefs, not necessarily culty. We've dealt with the cult, though.
Oh, yeah.
Different.
I mean, we say dealt with, like... They're not 100% dealt with. Like...
They were mostly dealt with.
They were, yeah, fairly
Yeah.
effectively.
That has something to do with the dragon, we thought. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a time that some would seek wisdom or guidance or offer prayer to him, but it long fell out of favor. It is not something that we city elves have as much connection to, but our Dalish brethren. She kind of you can see that there's a long history of Dalish shitting on city elves. So understandably
It's
a little
strange.
bitter, getting called
Yeah.
flat ear. Like there's a reason why they're a bit. But given that there is a Dalish boy sat next to you who is very respectful, she's being respectful back.
Yeah.
The keepers wear rings carved in special wood that show the betrayal of Fenharel to remind them that they must protect their clan from him. All Dalish clans do.
She'll look to Cheryl to like confirm this.
He nods. It's one of those things where like it's from childhood, and he kind of like he knows that it's a thing, and you're like, oh, yeah, that rings a bell, yeah.
Okay.
His 9 from earlier was just, you know, there
Like,
are
I was
certain
building
lessons
stuff.
you pay attention to.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just learning.
While things were being said.
Yeah, but his father would have wore one such ring. I know that the statues to him, of which there are many that exist all across Thedas, typically they camp with the back of the wolf to them to keep out of his sight. I have not heard of anyone speaking favorably towards him, but something to note, I suppose.
I suppose if anyone should know it should have been you.
Mm.
But I do not wish to take too much of your time.
Can I roll an empathy roll?
Yes.
Let's see if she's,
What are you trying to pick up on?
if she's lying.
Okay.
Grandma Lion.
15.
Grandma, you lying? 15. She's not lying, but perhaps there is some depth to an understanding that some people, there's maybe a pattern of behavior where occasionally you hear the name mentioned, not that it's necessarily mentioned to her.
Yeah.
She's an elder of a, not necessarily a person, but you know, people talk and then people pass on word, and she's an elder of a very large city lineage. So she maybe has heard something, but she herself has never heard anyone speaking
just
that
casually
way.
leaning back. Yeah, it's probably just some young teenage elves being edgy. You know how teenagers can be, right?
Yes, backing against
The norm.
wise course of action. Those who are particularly faithful would see it as extreme bad luck to invite an entity such as that into your life. It does not do well to speak of it. And you note there's an emphasis on the word "it" at the end, because she isn't really saying speaking of it as a concept. She means it, Fenharel. Yeah.
Yeah, like capital I, it. Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She put a little stank on that word at the end there. Don't take an empathy roll to pick up on that.
No.
Yeah.
Be mindful.
We will.
Excuse me.
I assume you are much more capable than I am to redirect the money elsewhere where it's needed as well.
I will see put to wise purpose.
And I know we're at times, so she'll leave this off. Kind of like I'll come back to kind of have this conversation. I do have a few questions about certain elf migration patterns that we've been noticed.
We can discuss that.
And if between now and then you see dear old dad, tell him we should have a chat. I'm sure he'll know where to find me.
If I have the means to, then I will.
Have the means to.
He holds higher company now.
I've heard.
And with that, you guys can finish up your tea and head off to whatever you decide to do next with your day. But with that, with many revelations and talk of it, we will leave off there, everyone.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing and coming up. A big thanks to Girls Run These Worlds for that raid earlier today. Really appreciate your faces, and I don't know, maybe you'll be seeing my face over there eventually. Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about it quite yet, but otherwise, on this space, on this channel, what's going on Sundays, every other Sunday. So this coming Sunday, I will be over on Nat 1 Heroes, where I play some Rime the Frost Maiden. We're having a guest secular rarity from the atheist community of Austin. Will be joining us as an NPC. It's hilarious because we're going to actually be in the tower, in the prison, in Rime of the Frost Maiden that was in the D&D movie. And our DM did not know because he hadn't seen the movie yet. And so when he mentioned it, I'd already seen the movie and I didn't say anything. And I was like, I'm just going to wait for him to realize. So we're about to go into that prison, and I swear to God, if Jonathan is there.
Jonathan! Bless Jonathan.
Yeah, that being said, and then on subsequential Sundays, I will be starting over at Sword and Key. We're premiering our Brindlewood Bay campaign next Sunday, so that's happening. I'm very excited for that. And then here on this channel, of course, on Wednesdays, you can catch me running a Blades in the Dark hack of the for an Animorph skin, essentially. So I run an Animorph game on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock p.m. Or 4:30 p.m. Pacific daylight time, because we're in daylight now. And then we're back here with some Dragon Age, and hopefully we'll have a whole team. We are halfway through our Dragon Age campaign of the year, or the season. So looking forward to see how the second half goes. I'm hoping to find Uncle Rizzo and seeing how good his Riz is. And all of that good stuff. So, yeah, with that, everybody else, starting with Kay, where can we find you? What you doing? What's the internet got for you?
Hey everyone, I'm Kay Phoenix, play Ophelia Van Kale, our Mortalitasi mage, and this is where you can find me every week on Saturdays. It's my only game.
Kay's an exclusive.
I know.
Same.
Exclusive Val only.
I know.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of those.
I'm a slut. I'm in a few channels.
Same.
Hi everyone. My name is Satan Orlis, a vamp on the interwebs. I play Bella here every Saturday, life permitting. I also DM over at the Hype Goblins channel on Sundays, and I play over at a friend's on Tuesday and Wednesday called OG Toko. But you can find me on Twitter at @AlysaVampArt or TikTok at @AlysaVampArt. I do art, if you haven't noticed by the name. I've done the bust here. I've done other busts. I've done a lot of art for Emma because she's like, you know how you get those medieval like rich people who are like, I just have a weird little artist living with me, and I give them money for them to take. Yeah. That's what Emma is. I'm the weird art goblin. That's kind of like in Gremlin, just in the corner being paid to make art.
But you're getting paid.
But that's me. Yeah, getting paid is the important part. Friends pay friends, and I appreciate that all the time. But that's me.
It's me, the art patron. I'm Emma or Hummalou on the internet. I am also an exclusive Val bitch. That's me. So you will see me here on Saturdays running this game for these lovely people.
Okay, look at that. I was slightly short. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid our friends over at Unmade Gaming. I've played in that community before for charity games. Good humans, last I checked. So like it's been a hot minute. So if I'm wrong, tell me. But I'm pretty sure it's still full of really good humans there. And I will see y'all sometime later this week, and we will see you next week. Where's OBS? It's right here. See you later. Bye.
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 We'll see you when we see you.